Hi, you being of light and love. How are you today? Today, it's amazing. It's full of happiness and full of ease. Totally ease and full of possibilities. Again, very wonderful. I'm very grateful to bring you the new daily exercise just for you to exercise and to breathe in this lesson, this idea of today, so you can feel more peace and calmness and reconnecting with your true higher self, God's creation, the child of God, the innocent child of God who you truly are. Do you remember how you were, not knowing anything, not needing to understand, not needing to have a word for something, but just being, enjoying, full of love and joy? That's your natural state. You feel far away from all that? Well, you can choose to just have a reconnection Zoom with me, bringing you back, or even a bodywork session. And of course, you can here do those free daily exercises here to really get out of your fear-based head, full of limitations and big lies, big lies. So the idea of today is lesson number 10. My thoughts do not mean anything. What does that mean? My thoughts do not mean anything. This idea applies to all the thoughts of which you are aware or become aware in the practice period. The reason the idea is applicable to all of them is that they are not your real thoughts. We have made this distinction before and will do so again. You have no basis for comparison as yet. When you do, you will have no doubt that what you once believed were your thoughts did not mean anything. This is the second time we have used this kind of idea. The form is only slightly different. This time the idea is introduced with my thoughts instead of this thought, and no link is made overtly with the things around you. The emphasis is now on the lack of reality of what you think you think. I like that. What you think you think. This accept of the correction process began with the idea that thoughts of which you are aware are meaningless outside rather than within, and then stressed their past rather than their present status. Now we are emphasizing that the presence of these thoughts means that you are not thinking. This is merely another way of repeating our earlier statement that your mind is really a blank. To recognize this is to recognize nothingness when you think you see it. As such, this is prerequisite for vision. So close your eyes, stay with me, the exercise is coming. Close your eyes now for this exercise. Get an awareness, a presence, what's going on in your mind. And then breathe it down into your heart in full allowance. Introduce them by repeating the idea for today quite slowly to yourself. Then add, this idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. So I'm gonna just give you even a more clear version of that. That would mean that you say it out loud for you. You say, my thoughts do not mean anything. These thoughts do not mean anything. And then after that, my idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. My thoughts don't mean anything. This idea will help to release me from all that I now believe. The exercise consists as before in searching your mind for all the thoughts that are available to you without selection or judgment. Try to avoid classification of any kind. In fact, if you find it helpful to do so, you might imagine that you are watching an oddly assorted procession going by, which has little, if any, personal meaning to you. As each one crosses your mind, say, my thought about, and you fill it in. Whatever comes to your mind does not mean anything. My thought about this person does not mean anything. My thought about my bank account does not mean anything. My thought about my business does not mean anything. My thought about my person and my ego does not mean anything. See, the more you hear it, you might sense more happiness and fun coming back to you, because you are happiness. In your heart, there's just happiness. It's always there. It's always there. But when we are in our head, trapped, thinking and going over again and round, and we are getting already cuckoo and very crazy, and we are not present anymore, and also we can't feel the love and the guidance anymore. So please just practice that. It's fun. If you don't need to believe it and you don't need to understand why you are doing it, it's even more fun, because your ego finds it maybe even crazy that you do something what you don't understand. But you will find so much joy in your heart with that. Today's food can obviously serve for any food that distresses you at any time. In addition, 5 practice periods are recommended, each involving no more than a minute or so of mind searching. It is not recommended that this time period be extended, and it should be reduced to half a minute or less if you experience discomfort. Remember, however, to repeat the idea slowly before applying it specifically, and also to add, my thoughts don't mean anything. This idea will help to release me from all that I now believe, which is not true. Great. Now, have fun with it and enjoy. And yes, of course, you can follow me and support me, being a contribution by sharing it to other people, maybe even doing it with your children, and having fun with that, like a game. When you were a kid, even that you didn't know that game existed as a word and as a somehow meaning to that, you were always playing, and with playing, learning. So just be that again, and you will find more and more happiness showing up in your world, and ease and joy and glory and all the possibilities coming your way. Thank you very much for listening, for taking your time, and enjoy. Embracing you. Bye for now.